The breaking point. Captain Elena Vasquez gripped the controls of her damaged shuttle as it limped through the debris field. Behind her, the wreckage of the diplomatic vessel Harmony drifted in pieces. 17 good people had been on that ship. Now only she remained alive. The attack had come without warning. Her ship had been traveling through neutral space, carrying nothing but peace offerings and trade proposals. The Krell sovereignty warships had appeared from nowhere and opened fire immediately. No hails. No demands. Just destruction. Elena's hands shook as she guided the shuttle toward the emergency beacon she had activated. Earth patrol ships would arrive soon. They had to. She needed to get home. She needed to tell them what she had seen. Before the Harmony exploded, she had managed to download the ship's sensor logs. Those logs contained something important. Something that would change everything. The rescue ship arrived 3 hours later. By then, Elena had stopped shaking. Her grief had transformed into something colder. Something harder. Commander James Park met her in the medical bay. He was an old friend from the academy. His face was grim as he approached her bed. 17 dead, he said quietly. The 5th attack in 80 years. Elena nodded. She had been counting too. 80 years ago, the Voron Collective had attacked Earth's first colony without provocation. 40 ships destroyed. 3,000 colonists killed. Earth had protested to the Galactic Council. The Council had done nothing. 30 years later, the Scyther clans had raided Earth merchant vessels. Hundreds of traders captured and sold into slavery. Again, Earth had sought justice through proper channels. Again, nothing happened. Then came the Zeroth incident. The plague years. The frontier massacres. Each time, Earth had shown restraint. Each time, humanity had trusted the galactic community to deliver justice. Each time they had been disappointed. I have something you need to see, Elena told James. She pulled out the data chip containing the Harmony's final sensor readings. Before they destroyed us, our communications officer intercepted encrypted transmissions between the Krell ships. James plugged the chip into a secure reader. His expression darkened as he reviewed the data. The transmissions revealed a coordinated effort. The Krell had been paid to attack the Harmony. Paid by someone influential. Someone who wanted to ensure Earth remained isolated and vulnerable. But that was not the worst part. The worst part was the list of species involved in the conspiracy. 7 major civilizations. Dozens of minor ones. All working together to keep humanity weak. They are planning something bigger, Elena said. This was just a test. They wanted to see how we would respond. James looked up from the reader. We need to get this to Earth immediately. The journey home took 2 weeks. During that time, the news of the Harmony's destruction spread across human space. Protests erupted on every Earth colony. People gathered in the streets demanding action. Demanding justice. Demanding that their leaders finally do something. The United Earth Assembly convened an emergency session. Representatives from every nation and colony filled the Grand Chamber in Geneva. Elena stood before them and told her story. She showed them the evidence. She explained the conspiracy. The chamber fell silent as the truth sank in. For 80 years, Earth had been patient. For 80 years, humanity had tried to be good neighbors to the galaxy. And for 80 years, the galaxy had responded with violence and treachery. President Marcus Thompson stood at the central podium. He was an old man now, but his voice still carried authority. He had served in the military during the Zeroth incident. He had lost friends and family to alien aggression. He understood what this moment meant. We have tried diplomacy, Thompson said. We have tried patience. We have tried every peaceful option available to us. And still they attack our people. Still they kill our children. Still they plot against us in the shadows. He paused, looking around the chamber. Every eye was fixed on him. The question before us today is simple. Do we continue to turn the other cheek? Do we continue to hope that someday, somehow, the galaxy will accept us? Or do we finally show them the truth? A representative from the Mars colony stood. What truth, Mr. President? Thompson smiled grimly. The truth about who we really are. The truth about what we are really capable of. He pressed a button on his podium. The chamber's main display activated. It showed a star map of human space. But this map was different from the public versions. This map showed things that most people did not know existed. Hidden military installations throughout the solar system. Research facilities buried deep beneath the surfaces of moons and asteroids. Construction yards in deep space where no sensors could detect them. Manufacturing plants that had been running at full capacity for decades. For 80 years, Thompson continued, we have been preparing. Not for conquest. Not for empire, but for survival. We knew this day would come. We knew that eventually our patience would run out. Another display activated. This one showed weapons. Weapons that looked like nothing the galaxy had ever seen. Ships designed not for exploration but for war. Defense systems that could protect entire planets. Technologies that bent the laws of physics in ways that should not be possible. A representative from the Asian Union stood. Mr. President, if we have had these capabilities all along, why did we not use them? Why did we allow our people to die? Thompson's expression softened. Because we hoped we would never need them. Because we wanted to believe that intelligence and reason would eventually prevail. Because the moment we reveal what we can do, everything changes. The galaxy will never see us the same way again. He looked directly at the representative. But our hope has limits. Our patience has boundaries. And both have been exhausted. The chamber erupted in discussion. Some representatives supported immediate military action. Others urged continued restraint. The debate raged for hours. Finally, Thompson called for order. I am not proposing that we go to war. I am proposing that we give the galaxy one final warning. One absolute ultimatum. We will show them what we are capable of. We will demonstrate our power. And we will make it clear that the next attack on humanity will be the last mistake they ever make. A vote was called. The resolution passed with an overwhelming majority. Earth would issue its warning. In the weeks that followed, humanity mobilized like never before. The secret projects were brought online. The hidden fleets were activated. Scientists and engineers who had been working in the shadows finally stepped into the light. Dr. Sarah Chen stood in one of those secret facilities now. It was built inside a hollowed-out asteroid in the Kuiper Belt. The facility was massive, stretching for kilometers in every direction. And it was just one of many. How long until we are ready? Asked General Robert Hayes. He commanded Earth's newly revealed Strategic Defense Force. Sarah checked her displays. The demonstration systems will be operational in 72 hours. The full defensive grid is already active. If anyone tries to attack us during this period, they will be very surprised. Hayes nodded. He was a career military officer who had spent 30 years working on projects that officially did not exist. Now those projects were about to become very real to the rest of the galaxy. What about the weapon platforms? Hayes asked. Online and waiting for orders. Each platform is autonomous but can be controlled from here if needed. They are positioned throughout the solar system and at key points in human space. Hayes walked to a window that looked out at the construction base. Ships were being assembled by machines that moved faster than the human eye could follow. These were not exploration vessels or trade ships. These were warships. And they were unlike anything the galaxy had ever encountered. Do you think they will listen? Sarah asked quietly. Do you think one warning will be enough? Hayes was silent for a moment. I think they will listen. Because if they do not, we will have no choice but to show them why they should have. Back on Earth, President Thompson prepared for the most important speech of his life. Writers had drafted dozens of versions. Military advisors had provided input. Diplomats had suggested softer language. In the end, Thompson rejected all of it. This message needed to come from the heart. It needed to be honest. It needed to be final. The broadcast would be sent simultaneously to every known civilization in the galaxy. Earth had never used its advanced communication systems this way before. The galaxy did not even know humanity possessed such technology. That would change today. Thompson sat in the recording studio. No fancy decorations. No elaborate set. Just him, a camera, and the flag of United Earth behind him. The truth did not need decoration. We are ready, Mr. President, said the technician. Thompson took a deep breath. He thought about Captain Vasquez and the 17 people who died on the Harmony. He thought about all the humans who had been killed over the past 80 years. He thought about the children who asked their parents why the aliens hated them so much. Begin transmission, he said. The message went out across the galaxy at speeds that should not be possible. Within seconds, it reached every inhabited world, every space station, every ship. Thompson's face appeared on billions of screens. My name is Marcus Thompson, President of United Earth. For 80 years, humanity has endured unprovoked attacks from species that claim to value peace and justice. We have lost thousands of our people to violence that served no purpose except cruelty. We have sought justice through every proper channel. We have been patient beyond reason. That patience ends today. Behind him, images began to appear. Ships that had been hidden for decades. Weapons that alien scientists would struggle to understand. Technologies that made it clear humanity was far more advanced than anyone had suspected. This is not a threat. This is a warning. The next species that attacks humanity will face absolute destruction. We will not negotiate. We will not show mercy. We will not hold back. You have seen us at our most peaceful. Pray you never see us at our most dangerous. Thompson stood. In 72 hours we will provide a demonstration of our capabilities. Any species may send observers to witness what Earth can do when we stop being patient. The coordinates will be provided through standard channels. He walked closer to the camera. We do not want war. We have never wanted war. But we will not continue to die quietly while the galaxy plots against us. Choose your next actions carefully. Because Earth is done being the victim. The transmission ended. Across the galaxy silence fell. And in that silence, fear began to grow. Demonstration of power. The coordinates Earth provided pointed to an empty sector of space far from any inhabited systems. It was a region known as the Void's Edge, where dying stars had long ago consumed their planets. Nothing remained here except dust and darkness. It was the perfect place for what humanity had planned. Admiral Chin Kai commanded the observation protocols from Earth's primary defense station. His screens showed dozens of alien vessels arriving at the designated coordinates. They came from every major civilization in the galaxy. The Krell Sovereignty sent 3 heavy cruisers. The Voron Collective dispatched their flagship. Even smaller species who had never bothered with humanity before sent representatives. They all wanted to see if Earth was bluffing. Status report, Chin ordered. All demonstration systems are online and ready, replied Commander Park. He had been promoted after bringing Captain Vasquez home safely. The observer vessels are maintaining safe distance as instructed. No hostile movements detected. Chin nodded. The aliens were being careful. Good. That meant they were at least slightly worried about what might happen. On the bridge of the Voron flagship Eternal Light, Ambassador Thal stood with his military advisors. Thal was old even by Voron standards. He had lived for 6 centuries and witnessed countless species rise and fall. He did not believe these young mammals could pose a real threat. Their vessels are small, noted Admiral Kresh. Smaller than our fighters. How can such tiny ships carry any meaningful weapons? Thal studied the human ships on his display. They did look insignificant compared to the massive Voron warship. But something about them made him uneasy. They moved with a precision that seemed almost unnatural. They maintained perfect formation without any visible communication between them. Begin recording everything, Thal ordered. Our scientists will want to analyze whatever these humans plan to show us. Aboard the Krell command ship Relentless Fury, Captain Vex reviewed the intelligence reports one more time. The Krell had been the ones who destroyed the Harmony. They had been paid well for that task. Now Vex wondered if perhaps they had been paid to make a terrible mistake. How many weapons platforms do the humans have in this sector? Vex asked his sensor officer. Our scans detect none, Captain. The sector appears empty except for the human vessels and our observer fleet. Vex felt his chest tighten. The Krell had excellent sensors. If they detected nothing, that should mean nothing was there. But the confidence in the human transmission had been absolute. Either the humans were insane or they had capabilities the Krell could not detect. Back on Earth's defense station, Chin checked the time. 5 minutes until the demonstration began. President Thompson's face appeared on his private screen. The galaxy is watching, Admiral, Thompson said. Make sure they understand the message. They will understand, Mr. President. After today, no one will doubt what humanity can do. The countdown reached 0. Dr. Sarah Chin activated the first sequence from her facility in the Kuiper Belt. Across the solar system, relay stations powered up. Energy began flowing through networks that had taken decades to build. At the Void's edge, space itself began to change. The alien observers noticed it first as a shimmer. Like heat waves rising from hot ground, except this was happening in the vacuum of space. Their sensors started detecting impossible readings. Energy signatures that exceeded anything in their databases. Spatial distortions that should not exist outside of black holes. Then the human ships moved. They did not accelerate gradually like normal vessels. They simply appeared in new positions. One moment a ship was kilometers away. The next instant it occupied a completely different location. No transit time. No visible movement. Just instantaneous repositioning. Impossible, whispered Admiral Kresh aboard the Eternal Light. They are moving through folded space. That technology is theoretical. No one has ever made it work. But humanity had made it work. And they were just getting started. The human ships arranged themselves in a perfect sphere around one of the dead planets in the sector. Then they fired. What emerged from those small vessels was not conventional weapons fire. It was something else entirely. Beams of pure energy that did not dissipate over distance. They struck the planet from every angle simultaneously. The planet did not explode. It did not shatter. It simply ceased to exist. One moment there was a dead world, rocky and cold, roughly the size of Earth's moon. The next moment there was nothing. Not debris. Not dust. Not even atoms. The matter that had made up the planet had been converted directly into energy and dispersed harmlessly into space. The alien observers sat in shocked silence. The technology required to do that exceeded anything they possessed by orders of magnitude. And the humans had done it with such casual precision that it seemed routine. Phase 2, Chin ordered calmly. The human ships repositioned again. This time they targeted the asteroid field that circled the system's dying star. Thousands of asteroids, some larger than cities, drifted in lazy orbits. The human ships did not fire this time. Instead they projected something. Fields of blue light extended from each vessel. The fields expanded rapidly, washing over the asteroids like waves. Every asteroid the fields touched stopped moving. They simply froze in space, held motionless by forces the aliens could not comprehend. Then, with perfect synchronization, all the asteroids began moving in the same direction. They formed a straight line stretching for millions of kilometers. A line that pointed directly at the alien observer fleet. The message was clear. Humanity could move objects through space with precision and power that made conventional weapons obsolete. If they wanted to, they could turn any asteroid, any moon, any piece of space debris into a projectile traveling at relativistic speeds. Captain Vex ordered his ship to move back further from the demonstration area. Other vessels followed his lead. No one wanted to be anywhere near what the humans might do next. Phase 3, Chin said. This time, the human ships did something that made even the most advanced alien scientists question everything they knew about physics. They created a star. In the empty space between the observer fleet and the demonstration area, matter began to coalesce. It appeared from nowhere, pulled from dimensions the aliens did not know existed. Hydrogen atoms compressed together at rates that should take millions of years. Within 10 minutes, a new star ignited. Small by stellar standards, barely larger than a gas giant planet. But it was a star nonetheless. Burning bright and hot. Producing light and energy where moments before there had been only darkness. The aliens could not speak. Could not move. Could not process what they were witnessing. Species that had traveled the stars for thousands of years were seeing technology that seemed like magic. Like the actions of gods rather than mortals. Ambassador Thal felt fear for the first time in centuries. The humans had not just demonstrated superior weapons. They had demonstrated mastery over fundamental forces of nature. They could create and destroy matter at will. They could manipulate space and time. They could literally build stars. And they had been hiding this capability for 80 years. While the galaxy attacked them, killed their people, and plotted against them, the humans had possessed the power to end those conflicts instantly. They had chosen not to use it. Until now. Final phase, Chin announced. The human ships moved one last time. They spread out across the entire sector, positioning themselves at perfect intervals. Then they activated their defensive systems. Shields materialized around each ship. But these were not the simple energy barriers that other species used. These shields existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously. They phased in and out of normal space, making the ships impossible to target. Weapons fire would pass through empty space where the ship had been microseconds before. The humans demonstrated this by firing on their own ships. Powerful weapons that could destroy conventional warships struck the shields and simply vanished. The energy was absorbed, redirected into other dimensions, or converted into forms that posed no threat. Our analysis is complete, Admiral Kresh reported to Ambassador Thal. His voice shook slightly. The humans possess technology we cannot counter. Their weapons exceed our capabilities by factors we cannot measure. Their defenses make our entire fleet obsolete. If they wanted to destroy us, we could not stop them. Thal said nothing. He was thinking about the past 80 years. All the attacks on human ships and colonies. All the schemes to keep humanity weak and isolated. All the confidence that humans were just another primitive species to be exploited. They had been so terribly wrong. A transmission came from the human fleet. President Thompson's face appeared on every alien screen simultaneously. What you have witnessed today represents a fraction of Earth's defensive capabilities. These are tools we built for protection, not conquest. But make no mistake. If forced to use them offensively, we will not hesitate. Thompson's expression was grave but calm. For 80 years, We have endured attacks because we hoped the galaxy would eventually accept us as equals. We hoped that reason and cooperation would triumph over fear and greed. We were wrong to hope for that without being prepared to enforce it. Behind him, new images appeared. Defensive grids surrounding Earth and every human colony. Weapon platforms hidden throughout human space. Ships that could be anywhere in the galaxy within hours. The full extent of humanity's secret preparations. Earth is establishing a new doctrine today. Any attack on humanity or our allies will be met with immediate and overwhelming response. We will protect not just our own people but any species that seeks peace and cooperation. We will no longer stand by while aggressive civilizations prey on the weak. Thompson stood. But we offer a choice. The galaxy can continue as it has, with the strong dominating the weak, with violence and treachery as the norm. Or we can build something better together. Humanity is willing to share our knowledge with those who genuinely seek peace. We are willing to defend those who cannot defend themselves. We are willing to lead the galaxy toward a better future. He paused, letting that sink in. But that future begins with respect. Attack us again and you will face extinction. Attack our allies and you will face our wrath. The age of underestimating humanity ends now. The transmission ended. The human ships vanished. One moment they filled the sector. The next moment every single vessel was gone. They had left no trace. No energy signatures. No spatial distortions. They had simply ceased to exist in that location. The alien observers sat in stunned silence. Then, slowly they began to understand the full implications of what they had seen. The humans could be anywhere. Could strike from anywhere. Could destroy anything they chose to destroy. And they were offering peace instead of vengeance. Aboard the Eternal Light, Ambassador Thal made a decision. Open a channel to Earth, he ordered. Tell them the Voran Collective wishes to discuss a formal peace treaty. And an alliance. Other alien vessels began broadcasting similar messages. Species that had attacked humanity now begged for forgiveness. Civilizations that had plotted against Earth now sought friendship. The conspiracy that had worked for decades to keep humanity isolated collapsed in a single day. Captain Vex watched his own government's urgent messages flooding in. The Krell sovereignty was ordering him to apologize for the Harmony incident. To offer reparations. To do whatever necessary to avoid human retaliation. He understood why. The humans had shown mercy by only demonstrating their power. If they had wanted revenge, his ship and every Krell world would already be gone. On Earth, President Thompson watched the responses flood in. Requests for peace treaties. Offers of alliance. Pleas for forgiveness. The galaxy that had spent 80 years attacking humanity now scrambled to befriend them. It worked, said Admiral Chin. They understand now. Thompson nodded slowly. Yes. They understand that we can destroy them. But do they understand that we would rather help them? Time will tell, Mr. President. But at least now they will think twice before attacking innocent species. The strong will think twice before preying on the weak. That is what we wanted. Thompson looked at the star map showing all of human space. Their colonies. Their allies. Their future. We did not want to be the galaxy's police force. We did not want to be the ones who decided right from wrong. But someone has to stand against aggression. Someone has to protect those who cannot protect themselves. He turned to Chin. Begin the next phase. Start sharing our defensive technologies with species that prove they want real peace. Help them protect themselves. And keep our offensive capabilities ready. Just because the galaxy fears us now does not mean they will always respect us. Yes, sir. In the days that followed, the galaxy transformed. Species that had fought each other for centuries suddenly found common ground in their fear of humanity. But that fear gradually gave way to respect. And respect gave way to cooperation. Earth did not conquer. Earth did not demand tribute or submission. Earth offered protection to those who wanted it and friendship to those who earned it. The galaxy learned that humans kept their promises. Both their promises of protection and their promises of destruction. Captain Elena Vasquez stood in the memorial hall where the names of the Harmony's crew were carved in stone. 17 names. 17 people who had died seeking peace. We did it, she whispered to them. We made sure your deaths meant something. The galaxy will be better now. Safer. Because of what happened to you. Because we finally said enough. She touched each name gently. Then she walked out into the sunlight. Earth's sun shone bright and warm. Peaceful. Safe. Protected by technologies that would have seemed like magic just months before. And across the galaxy, other species looked at their own suns and felt grateful. Grateful that when humanity finally revealed its true power, It chose to be guardians rather than conquerors. Grateful that Earth's final warning had come with an offer of friendship. The age of underestimating humanity had ended. The age of cooperation had begun. And the galaxy would never be the same.